lovelies. So, welcome to my channel. I am Bebby. You can call me Bunny if you'd prefer. And I am here today to show you how to use Vroid Studio. Let's start with the very, very basics. Okay, so it's going to put you in a menu like this. So, very first thing to know, to zoom in, you use, whoops, I got to click into the menu. To zoom in, you need to use your your mouse roller, and then you can zoom in and out. The next thing you need to know is right click will rotate your character, and you just move the mouse to move her around, or move the avatar around. Next, if you hit spacebar and then click, you can move the avatar around on the screen. So, I know the rest of it looks overwhelming. There's so many options over here and over here. So I'm going to try to break it down for you. I'm going to go category by category, and I'm also going to go through these. And I'm going to try to go through basics of what all of these things are. So, first thing, we're going to start on the left. So, if you scroll over it, you'll see it'll show you what category you're looking at. So, we're just going to go down the row. First off, you got face sets. So if you click it, it's going to automatically adjust the entire face, eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows, the whole 9 yards. Oh, and the ears and everything. So it'll adjust the entire face and head in one move. So if you want to keep it really basic, don't want to worry about a whole bunch of detail, just click one of these and then you're good to go. So the next one is the eye sets. Now clicking one of these will change only the eyes, and it will change, it changes the eye shape, the pupil, the eyelashes, and all of that. And you got a bunch of different options. So again, want to keep it simple, you can use these. Same with the irises. This only changes the iris. It does not change the eye shape. It doesn't change the ears or the eyebrows. Oh my goodness, why are you not loading? Oh, okay, I see. All right. So you see how we still got our spiral here in the middle? That is going to be under eye highlights. This changes the highlights in the eyes so that now if you go back to irises, you can see it changing. So you got a whole bunch of eye highlights to use. And you can pick whichever. We're going to start with an easy one that helps us see everything. We'll start with that. And then, I don't know, scleras? I don't know how to pronounce that. That changes the white part of your eye. So that one's the biggest change. We'll use that. So you see it changes that color. Okay. We got eyebrows. Obviously it changes all of your eyebrow shapes. And then eyelids changes just your little eyelid mark right there. Eyeliner changes the outside shape of the eye. So this one puts a little scrape mark there, and then kind of sharp on the outside. You got that one, but it does not change the eye shape, does not change the highlights, and it does not change the irises. It only changes the eyelash or the eyeliner shape. And this adds eyelashes, does not change the eyelashes. So you see how it just laid that one over top of the eyelashes that are already built into the eyeliner. And it'll add those to the bottom. It'll add a whole bunch of them. So if you go back to eyeliner, and you can pick something really simple. Let's do that. You can have none there, and then you have all of your eyelashes as the prominence. Your nose changes your nose shape. So it'll change the kind of highlights that are on it and everything. Mouth changes what your mouth looks like. I'm pretty sure it changes what the inside of your mouth looks like. Oh, no. That's the inside of your mouth. I guess this changes the lips. So mouth inside. can't really see it unless you go down here, and then I'll show you that too. Lips does like lip gloss or lipstick. Also, to take these things off, you click this little empty square with the circle. So if I click on that like that, you can see my lip gloss. I click on the empty space with the circle, and it takes it away. It also takes away that menu on the right. Cheeks, you can add a little blush. Skin, this changes the entire way your face looks. So if you see on my model, I actually have like makeup around the eyes. So this would be how you do that. I'll go into a little bit different things here. So this is your face paint. You can do different markings on the face. And then this is your expressions. So this, I'm gonna start going into the right menu now. So let's say you want to adjust your smiling. Eyes are too closed and the mouth is too big, right? So eyes are too closed. We're gonna go over to this right menu, and I have a feminine model. So we are gonna go under eyes, fem, and you see how it's 100% on the smiling on the eyes. If we want to make it a little bigger, you can use this slider. All the way to the left makes it off completely. All the way to the right turns it on completely. So let's say we want it about there. Okay? So we got our eyes taken care of. Now we want to fix that mouth. It's a little too wide. So we're going to go under mouth, and then we're going to go to fem because I have a feminine model. And you see how it's 100% on the smiling. Let's make it about there, right? Okay. So let's go under a really good one. What's a really good one? All right, happy. This one's really dramatic, right? Way too dramatic. So what we're going to do, we've already got our mouth open. I'll go ahead and show you that. So if we want to make the mouth a little more closed, we pull down that happy. And now, if you want to make it a little bit more detailed, you want to make her smile a little bit more, you can go under a different slider. We can use the smiling slider, and we can move that up a little bit. And now she's smiling, but her mouth is not crazy open. And you can also do the exact same thing with the other sliders. You can mix as many of these together as you want to, and it'll change anything on the face. So I think those eyes are a little too far into the cheek. So we're going to go back under eyes, and we're going to go to fem. And then we can use that slider. It's about perfect right there. Okay? And that's how you fix that. We're going to go back to neutral to fix the rest of it. Okay. So I will show you the simplest way I think I can show you. We're going to go under face paint. So if you look at the left menu, and you see these two things right up here at the top, these two options here at the top, you see presets, which is the ones that we've been looking at this whole time. And you can also go under custom. Custom is where you can add your own assets. You can create your own looks and all of that. So we're going to go into custom. And as you can see, I already have a few of them set up here. So let's pick this one. So we're going to put this one on here. And all you have to do, you just select it just like you did with the presets. So this one's a little dramatic. It's a little intense. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to edit this. Let's say you downloaded one and they allow you downloaded one from Booth. I'll link that in the description as well. And you like it, but you want to adjust something. Make sure you have permission to modify before you modify anything, especially if you're going to be using it online. So this is the look that we have. I made this myself. I kind of just doodled. So we are going to fix this. We're going to go under Edit Texture here on the right. And now you see these two screens. And you got a whole bunch of options on the right and the left. Out of the two screens, the one on the left is going to be your model and what it looks like on your model. Here on the right, this is your outline for where this is going to go. So if I zoom in, just use the middle scroll again. And then to move it around, you're going to use the space bar and click and drag. So space bar, click, drag. Okay? So now you have a whole bunch of layers here. So if you So my base layer is, they're all numbered whenever you add one that adds a new number. And you can also rename these. So let's say I wanted to rename this layer 4, which is the very base level I have. Let's rename it to base. So you're going to right click on it and you're going to see all of these options. The only one that we're going to worry about for renaming it is rename. So rename, it'll highlight it, and now we can rename it base and hit enter. And now it is named base. Now to add a new layer, you're going to go up to the top of this texture window and you're going to go under that plus icon. And now it'll add a fresh layer. And over that fresh layer, you can see, I'm just going to doodle with it real quick. You can see it layers it on top, but it doesn't affect my other layers at all. So if I go here, this is your tools bar for your art, your drawing. Let's go under eraser and let's erase. But you see with the new layer, it's not affecting the old layers. I can erase and it's not going to erase anything on these layers through here. It only affects the layer that I have highlighted. So I want to delete that layer. I'm not going to use it. Right click again. We're going to go under delete. All right. Now, let's say, okay. So it's a little bold, a little intense, right? So what we want to do, we're going to go under these tools here, and we're going to go to blur. Now, over here on the right side, this right menu, you can adjust these sliders to adjust what your paint cursor looks like. So you can adjust the brush width and it'll make the brush bigger or smaller. And you can adjust the opacity. The opacity means how transparent it is going to be. So with the opacity, it comes in it comes in really handy with the blur tool, because if you, what layer are we on? This one? So if you want to blur something, and here, I'll show you a better way. Put it right in the middle of the forehead. Okay. So to add a new layer, click this button, adds a new layer. Now we're going to go under brush, and let's just pick a random color. We're going to put an X on the forehead, right? So you can see it shows up here. And you can also Control Z to undo. And I'll show you one more thing. You can actually draw straight onto your model. And if you draw onto your model, it'll automatically put it on this space where it will go within the template. So you can either do it here or here. Either one works fine. And then your eraser tool obviously erases. So Control Z undoes. So now we're going to go under blur, and I'll show you what the opacity does. Let's make this a smaller brush. So with the blur tool at the full opacity, it's going to do that. And you can still see that it's there, but you don't see it here. So what you're going to want to focus on when you blur is you're going to want to focus on what it looks like on the model more than what it looks like on the template. So if we adjust that opacity, let's turn it down to 50%. You can see it's a little less, it's a little less dramatic with how much it blurs. See that difference there and there? Now, if you want to blur, let's say you want to blur just a little bit, just around the edges. Okay, you're gonna turn your brush down to about where you need it. It's about there works. You can adjust this opacity. Let's make it like 20. All right. And now you can zoom in as much as you want. And you're just going to run it around the edges like this. And there. Okay. And now it has blurred your edges, but it has left your middle untouched. Okay? And you can kind of see the difference there. That one's without the blur, 100% opacity, 50% opacity, and then this one is 20% opacity with just the edges marked. Now, let's erase all of this. I'm going to make our brush huge, and whoops, I'm still on blur, so all it's going to do is just blur the whole thing. Actually, I'll show you really quick. The bigger, oh goodness, the bigger your brush is and the more intense the opacity is, the more, oops, I actually went under erase. Okay, so the bigger your brush is and the higher your opacity is will depend on how much gets blurred and how intense it gets blurred. So you can adjust these settings and you can go over it and over it. And if you need to look at the model, you can do it straight onto the model. Blur all that out like that. See? Just like that. Okay? And now to erase it, we're going to go into the erase tool. And we're going to erase the whole thing. Let's say you found a really cool makeup on Booth, and you're like, okay, I want to put this on my avatar, but you don't know exactly how to do it. You're gonna go under this texture menu. You're gonna go under layers, and you're gonna go over to this plus sign that has a picture behind it. Click on that. It'll bring up your. Hang on. It'll bring up that menu. Oops. It'll bring up that menu. And then all you do is go through until you find your PDF file. Okay. All right. So I found one. Double click, import. All right. So now you see that this one has now layered over top of our other one. If you want to test and compare which one you would rather have, you can click on these eye symbols with the slash through them, and it will hide those layers. So now all you see is this one layer that is not hidden. And if you want to unhide them, see them again, you just click that button again, and it'll show them all back up. Okay? And to delete a layer, just delete. And now we have it back to our regular. Okay. Now, if you're done with your item, you're happy with the way it looks, when you go to close it, it will bring up this save menu. So always make sure that you save things as a new item unless you are 150,000% sure that you are not going to use the previous version again. Always save it as a new item. So save as a new item. And it will bring it back to your base menu. And if you want to, it will only show one of these at a time. So if you want to change or like compare, like you made this one, but you also have another one that you kind of like, so you can just click and it'll change between them. So that one's cute. That one's cute. Now you can compare them. All right. Next, we're going to go under hairstyle. So once again, it'll bring you to this one. And this is your overall hairstyle. Fix it just a little bit. Okay. So these are your preset hairstyles. Now this menu here, the overall hair sets, includes everything from these other menus. Well, almost everything. It includes the overall hair, back and front, and some of the extensions and such. So you can scroll through those and just click on them, and it'll show you the presets, just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you if, let's say you like the long hair back here, right? But you don't necessarily like these bangs. They're not the best. You're going to go under front, and it's going to show you all of the bang styles that you can have. So scroll through them. and just find one that you like. That one's kind of cute. Let's go with that. Okay. Now, if you didn't like the long hair, say you found these bangs, and you're like, okay, I like those, but maybe I'm not a fan of the long hair after all. You can click through another one. That's kind of cute. And it'll change the back, even though you had this full set. But it will not change the bangs. Overall hair changes everything except for these. So if you had something from one of these set and you didn't like your hairstyle at all, you can go through these presets and change them. Extensions. This adds different extra pieces. So, oh, that's actually super cute. This adds extra pigtails to your hair. This one adds a little short pigtails. And this one's little buns. So that's how you add those. And remember to, let's say you didn't like the buns too much with the long hair, want to go back to plain long hair, you just click this blank square with the circle and it takes it away. So now let's get into a little more complicated. So these are your side styles, right? So just like we had with our face paint, you have your presets and your custom. Let's go into custom, and I have a few different things here. So, actually, let's go under a better one. Oblong. Okay. So you have your presets and your custom. Let's go into custom, and I have a whole bunch of things here. I found most of these from the booth shop, but a few of them I have made myself. Those two I made myself. So let me show you a really simple one. To add it, you're just going to click on it. And it will add it to your hair instead of moving or replacing different pieces of hair. So this one's really cute, right? I love it. It's beautiful. But we got a problem. It's not sitting perfectly. It's a little too high off the head. We need to fix that a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over here to this right side menu, and we're going to go under Edit Hairstyle. And now you can see we've got a brand new menu with new options. So here on the left, you can see your different freehand groups. So if you select one, it will give you a framework around the head from which that hair piece was made. So see, we got our framework here, and we've got the pieces that we're working with highlighted in yellow. So you see the bow is on this layer, and then we have our lace on the next layer, and then we have our headband on the bottom layer. And it'll show you which one you're working with highlighted in yellow. So you also see under these freehand groups, you see hair 1 and hair 2. Now this, if you click on it, will highlight whichever specific strand of hair that you are trying to change. Okay, so we're under freehand group, and it's showing us our framework, but you see how only one side is lit up now instead of both sides? So now that's showing you the strand of hair just within this hair 1 group. So just that one strand of hair. Okay? So if we want to move our headband down to fit our head a little bit better, you're going to go under that freehand group, and to select all of the framework and move it down, because we don't want to move just one side or the other. We want to move both of them equally. Okay, so now we have our framework selected. So if you go under our tools here in our middle section, you can see we have our mouse tool, our selection tool. And under this, you've got 3 options. You've got move, rotate, and resize. Move, if you click on it, will bring up this Z, Y, and X axis menu. So you can see all the arrows go along. It'll point which direction you want to move. So if we want to move that one that way, you can do that. Control Z undoes. If you want to move it sideways, you can do that. And if you want to move it up and down, you use the green one. Okay. So another thing to note, let's say I want to move it up and down, but I don't want to move it front and back. Or I want to move it side to side and up and down, but I don't want to move it front to back. You can select in the very middle, you got this little cube thing here. You can select one of these sides of the cube in the center. And now it will move all of them. It will move all directions except for the color that was highlighted on that square. So we need to move this whole thing down so that it sits on our head properly. So you're going to select the green one that goes up and down, and you're going to move it down. And you can right click and move around to look at it. I want that to go down just a little bit more. Whoops. Okay. All right. And now we've got our headband closer to our head. Now we can do that exact same thing to the other freehand groups. Just select the entire group and then select the green arrow that goes up and down and move it down. And you can see when you're moving stuff, if you move it too far down, you can see that headband is clipping through there. We don't want that to happen. So you move it up until you don't see any of that clipping there anymore. So that's perfect. And now, whoops, you can look and see if you want to move your bows. I think, you know what, they sit a little too far out for my liking. So what we want to do, you can go back to your tools menu and you can click resize. Now it will bring up this Z, Y, and X, but they will be squares now instead of arrows. So we want to move them inwards just a little bit. So we're going to move them right to left. So you can click this red arrow that goes right to left. And if you move it out, it makes it bigger. If you move it in, it makes it smaller. I just realized I selected the wrong layer. So to undo, that is, you hit Control and Z at the same time. We're going to select Freehand Group 1. And now we can see that our bows are highlighted. And that's the layer we actually want to change. Okay? So we're going to select this red box that goes right to left. And we're going to bring it in just a little bit. That's better. See? And now they're resting directly onto the headband instead of floating in the middle of the air. Now, if you were done looking at your framework and you want to see what it looks like without all of this mess over your face, all you have to do is go out to an empty space and just click. Okay? And now we can see our model all beautifully dolled up with her bows in place and that headband closer to her head. Perfect. All right, now to save this, you just go to this X in the top left corner, excuse me, and we're going to save this as a new item. And now you can see that item showed up at the very top of our custom menu. This menu goes from the most recent item changed all the way to the oldest items. So we have that fixed, and you can also put a bunch of extra things. So you can have one thing from each of these categories. Ignore the overall hair and the hair sets. You can have one front, one back, one extension, one side, one ahego, one extra, and then one base hair. Obviously, the overall hair changes both of these, and the edit hairstyle or the hairstyle sets changes all of these. Now, the last one to look at is your base hair. So this one is your base hair menu. This is basically the hair that is going to rest directly onto your scalp. It does not affect this hair at all. It is mostly to fix any issues as far as if your hair has gaps in it. You can select one of these and you can change the color to the rest of your hair color. and it will fix that issue where you have gaps in your hair. Okay, now you have your hair that you like, beautiful, amazing, but you don't like the color. Uh, brown is kind of okay. Let's make it you okay. So if you click, you see over here main color. Click on the color itself, and it will bring up this big old color wheel. Um, these colors down here, if you click this plus, it will add whatever color you have selected at that time to this menu, to your quick selects, basically. So let's make the hair bright. Whoops. Okay. Here's our problem. So you see now how it has changed everything within this menu. So we don't want that to happen. We want our beautiful headpiece to stay beautiful. So Control and Z at the same time undoes. And now you can see we have our beautiful hair back. We have our beautiful headband back. So you like your long hair in the back. It's beautiful. So we have our hairstyle, and you can see which one you have because the one that you have selected has this blue outline around it. So you like it, want to change the color, don't want to change the color of the hairband. You're going to go over to this right side menu, and you're going to click Edit Hairstyle. Okay, and now you can see all of our freehand groups are selected here on the side. Looks like a lot. It's not a whole lot, I promise. It's really easy. All you just click on your freehand group. It's going to show you what you have selected here from the group within this yellow outline. So to change the entire freehand group, you can go over here to the right. And I don't want to change any of these that I have here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go all the way to the top of the materials list, and we're going to go click plus. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of this now. Oh my goodness, I have so many colors. Okay. Go all the way to the bottom of the list, and you're going to see a new one called material. And it's going to be a base brown. That's what they all start with. So if you want to edit, you click down on that, and you click change on these main color, highlight, and outline. The main color is going to change the overall color of the hair. So we want it to be a nice pink. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, you see it's got this really weird orange highlight? I want to change that highlight to be a nice bright pink color. So you're going to go under highlight, and you're going to select the color that you want. So now the brown hair has this orangey highlight, and the pink hair has this nice rosy highlight. And your outline color, as you're looking around like this, you're going to see the outline of your item. If you want to change that, you can change this outline color, and it will change it to anything that you want. So let's make it a really deep pink color. Okay? All right, and now you have your whole hair selected, or your whole hair changed. Now, if you want to change the other hair groups, you just click on that hair group. It will bring up the framework. You will see what hair strands you are going to be changing in this yellow highlight. And all you have to do once you've selected the entire freehand group is to just select your color. And now it'll change it to those automatic settings that you just put up. Now, let's say that you like this. You don't want to change all of it. You just want to change one little piece of it, right? So let's go to this freehand group and I'll show you. So now the freehand group selects all three of these hair strands, excuse me. So if you want to change one strand but not the whole group, you just click on that strand. So now it's going to show you in yellow the hair that you have highlighted. Now instead of this entire 3-strand group that we had before, we are only working with this middle strand. So if you want to add a different color, just click Add on Materials. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of your materials list. And now we have a new material. Select that, and it'll go back to brown. And now you have cute little highlights around your face that are pink. But the rest of your hair is brown. Beautiful. Mwah. Love it. I just realized I forgot to show you one thing. So you're happy with your hair, just realize something else is wrong with your head bow, right? Your hair, just realize something's wrong with your headband, right? So you can go over to this left side menu and you can see the other options, the other hair options that you have within your character. So we can just select straight into this other one from the overall hair. One thing I forgot to show you though, you can select the freehand group. So I showed you what the move tool and what the resize tool do, but what I did not show you is what the rotate tool does. So if you select the rotate tool, it'll bring up this sphere. Okay. So the green one moves around horizontally. The blue one moves around equally with the face. And then the red one moves front to back. Okay. So I don't really need to rotate this, but if you wanted to, or you got another piece that you needed to rotate, all you would do is click on whichever one you wanted to rotate it and just move it around. And then it'll rotate that entire hair group around. And if you're done, if you are 100% done, you know for a fact you're not going to change it again, you can select overwrite. Overall hair has been saved as a new item. We forgot to change our headband. Oh no. So we're going to go back under custom. You can tell which item we have because of the blue highlight. So we're going to go back under hairstyle, edit hairstyle. And now you can see we have all of our options over here. And we've got, you can add a freehand group, which will add a brand new framework for you to work with. So we added a new freehand group. So now you can see we have a whole new framework to work with. So if you want, it's clipping through her chin. I don't like that too much. So what you want to do, if you just go under the selection tool, you're not going to have any of those green, red, or yellow marks. And if you click on these little dots here, you can actually move that framework around. So I want it to sit close to her chin, but not clip through her nose. I can adjust it just like that. Now, if I wanted, let's see, I need it to come in closer to her face around the sides, right? So I have the dots on the left, and the dots on the right. I want to move both of them together. I don't want to have to do one side and then do the other, and hopefully I get them equal. All you have to do is go up to the top right corner. You got this little trench symbol. Click on that. Once it's blue, that means that once you move these dots, it will move both of them on both sides. So now we can adjust that to fit her face a little bit better. Just like that. Perfect. And it will do the same thing if you click on the ones front to back. Now, did you see what it did there? When I selected it, it moved it exactly where the one on the other side was. Okay, so now we've saved we have our changes made to the that little headband here. So the items to save, this gives you an entire list of the items that you have listed here on the left side as well. So click that. If you want to change both, you select both. Or if you want to save both, you select both. If you don't want to save both, you only select the one that you're trying to save. Now, if you're 100% sure that you're done with it, you're not going to change it again, you can overwrite. So it will now save it over top of whatever it was you're working with before. Now we don't have two items, we only have the one. Okay? Same goes for any of the rest of these. You just click on it and then you go into edit hairstyle over here. Now let's go into body. So you can see it gives you that blue square at the top, tell you how tall you are. This, I assume, is only important for like VR chat when you want to make sure your avatar is same height as you or blah blah whatever, right? So over to the right here, you've got your other options. You can change your skin tone. Let's make her a little more tan, just like that. Okay. And if you want, you can save this as a new item so that you can go back and change a different character to it later. So all you do is hit the plus sign and it saves it as a new color. And you can go through, this changes how dark your highlights are, or your shades are, your shadows. And this changes the highlights on your skin. So we can make it a little different. Okay? And also you can change your height. You can change your overall size. Head size. Oh goodness. Make it tiny, make it big. Okay. Head tip. Don't know what that does. Neck length. You can also add an Adam's apple. Okay. So you can just change whatever you want to change right here. And then we go under outfit. And you've got, of course, your whole sets. It'll give you all the pieces together at once. So there we go. We have our whole little outfit set as a preset. Now, let's see. Okay. All right. Let's say I like the shirt. I don't like the shorts too much. You can change the top under the tops. So the shorts are what I want to change. So you've got your preset shorts or your preset bottoms here. And you can just select which ones you like. Let's do those. Those sound good. Yep, there we go. Okay. And you can do the exact same thing with dresses. Dresses will delete the tops and the bottoms. See? There we go. And now your neck accessories. These will add, obviously, neck accessories. So put on a necklace, and we get a necklace. So you will find a bunch of stuff on Booth. It will be like necklaces or chokers or whatever. Half of them are painted onto the skin. If you do not want to do that, you can select one of these presets. The easiest one that I have, I use this one. And then all you have to do, you can go under Edit Texture here. And it will bring up this new guideline. This one is a lot different than the face guideline that we had because it wraps around the body differently. So, all the way up here to the neck. And you can see we've got our beautiful little outline of the choker there. But where is the rose and bow, you ask? It is down here in a different texture layer. And this one is its own layer. So if I turn it sideways, you can kind of see the choker is in one layer and all of those pieces are stacked over top of themselves. I don't think I can zoom that in anymore. But you can kind of see the bow is its own separate piece over top of that choker. All right. You can go in under here. And now you can do kind of whatever you want with it. You don't like those jewels? Just go in and erase the little beads. And now it shows it on the necklace. See? Now you don't have the beads. Go in and erase them. Cool. Now, it's done on the front, but it's not done on the back. Thankfully, there are none on the back. But if there were, we would have to erase these two. The back of the neck, oh, you can't see it because of the hair. The back of the necklace is separate from the front of the necklace. You see, this is one half of the neck. This is the front half of the neck. And this is the right side of the back of the neck, and this is the left side of the back of the neck. Same thing goes for these. Arm, hang on, let me make my cursor bigger. We have our right arm, our left arm, right leg, left leg, and then these are our fingers. These right here are our fingers. I can't remember exactly what that is. So if we're done, save it as a new item. Okay. And now it'll automatically bring us to this custom menu. So this is the necklace that we just adjusted. Now we can select off of it, and it will show us a different accessory that we've got. And if we go back to it, it'll give us that exact same necklace that we just edited. See? And if you want to rename it, just right click and rename. And let's name this Test Choker. Okay. And you can also do all of that with the arm accessories. Here's the presets. Here's the customs. Your inner top is basically going to be your bra. I think that's only they only do the presets for the female models, I believe. But you can also do customs. And then inner bottom is going to be like your underwear. And then you've also got your socks, which you can do the presets or you can do the customs. If you want to create a new one, you can do a blank template or you can do a 3-fold template. So if you wanted to do that, click it. And now you have a brand new template to work with. Ooh, those are not in the right spot, probably because those shoes are custom items. And if you don't like them, they're in the wrong place. I don't like them. Just go back to your presets and click on the blank square with the circle. And now it takes them away. And your shoes are the same thing. It'll just change your shoes. And custom has your own imports. All right, last one is accessories. Honestly, I am not sure how this works. I do not understand. I do not have accessories. I've never added accessories. I've never made accessories. So I am not sure what this is. If you do know what this is and you have advice for me, please put it in what's the word? Comments. Thank you. Comments. Thank you. Like you guys told me the word. Okay. So this, your look, you can change, like where the lighting's coming from. You can change the shading, eye alignment. You can change. Oh wow. You can change where your eyes look. That's funny. Okay. Last option. If you go under this little camera menu, it will bring you into a photo booth. So you can just do the same options to move your model around. Okay. Now I want to add a background. The gray looks a little boring, so you're going to go under background and you're going to go to the right side and you're going to click import background picture. It will bring up your folders. Okay. There's my background. Now, poses and animations. Oh, actually, let's go under facial expressions first. So, facial expressions brings up the menu exactly like we were looking at for our facial adjusting. So, we can have her smiling, and I believe this keeps the settings that we adjusted in the face. So if you want her to be happy and smiling exactly the way that you had it before, you can do that. But see, when she blinks, her eyes clip into her cheeks. Let's not do that. So we're going to turn off blink. Now, if you didn't want her to be happy, you wanted her to be smiling instead, you could do that. And you see when I move her around, she looks at the camera. If you want her to look straight ahead, don't look at the camera. You click that, and now she's going to look straight ahead. I will go ahead and tell you, if you have look at camera turned on, and you have it set to do this, she's looking off to the side like this. You deselect look at camera, and now she's going to stay looking over there towards the right. Let's look at the camera and leave it like that. Now under poses and animations, over here on the right side, it's going to give you a bunch of different poses that you can use. So there's our basic, why did that white end up on her foot? Here's our basic stance. And they've also got animations. Now with an animation, if you like this particular spot, right? That spot's perfect. You can just click this little pause menu or pause button right down here in the bottom right. And to save the picture, this is the pose you want. You have it exactly how you like it. You click the little camera button in the bottom right. And now it will bring up your folder so that you can save it. You can also change the lighting. You can add some wind if you want her hair to move. See? This adds like filters and such to it. And this will adjust how big the picture actually ends up being. And if you're done with that, you want to go back to editing, you just hit the X. And it resets back to where you were before. Okay. Now, this button, this little tray with the arrow pointing up, that is your export button. So click on it. You can export it as a VRM. You can upload it to the Vroid Hub, or you can export it for 3D printing. If you want to export it to go into VCFace for VTubing, you're going to export it as a VRM. You will also export it as a VRM if you would like to add it to Unity to change some things there. So we're done with this. We're going to export her as a VRM. And now it's going to bring you to this menu. You don't need to really worry about any of these. I don't even really know what they do. So don't worry about any of those options. You're just going to click export. And then it's going to bring you to this VRM settings menu. Leave the VRM 0.0. Your title is going to be whatever you're naming your avatar. So let's name her Test V1. The creator is you who edited it. So mine is Bunny. And you don't need to worry about any of these unless you're doing something special, maybe selling it for someone else or whatever. Assign personality, only the creator, and then license redistribution prohibited. You can also change a bunch of other stuff. And then you're just going to click export. And it's gonna bring up that directory on where you want to export her to. So just navigate through your files until you find the exact place you want to put her, and then just save. Okay. So I believe that's the basic rundown of Vroid Studio and how it operates. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see me do any other tutorials, like maybe something about creating hair, or if you have any ideas for other tutorials you would like to see as far as Vroid Studio or VCFace, please let me know in the comments, and I will try to work on some of those for you. Other than that, I think we are done with this video. So thank you guys so much for being here. I love you very, very much. Mwah, mwah. I will see you in the next video.